10 points is a lot. Usually they say 40 points keeps you safe.
Yeah.
Realistically, how many points did you think Everton were going to pick up this season? Take 10 out of that, do you think they'll stay up? Which other team can
It's
beat
a
them
loss.
at the
Which
Etihad?
other team can beat them?
At the Etihad,
Yeah,
Liverpool.
apart from Liverpool. United?
Certainly not.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Budweiser Kings of Football Show, the one show where you get banter, you get all the information you need on the English Premier League. Now, unfortunately for myself on this show today, my co-host, my fellow Arsenal fan, my Arsenal brother, Jimmy is not in the studio. So I actually told production, I was like, before this show starts, don't bring another person that is like Biola in the studio, else I'm not going to show up. I'm going to be absent from the show. So we decided to bring my brother that is an Arsenal fan on the low key. I don't know what he means by low key, high key, whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, he's an Arsenal fan, and this is actually his first time with us in the studio, if I'm correct.
Yep.
Tolu, nice to have you on the show.
It's good to be here also. When I first got the invite to come to the show, I realized you're an Arsenal fan. I realized Jimmy was also an Arsenal fan. And then I saw Biola. Like, wow.
What about me?
The thing is, you can never outnumber Biola. He's going to be like 10 guys.
One man army. Talking about Biola has been like the mainstay with us in the show. So most times, if you're a huge fan of the show, you always see Biola or you see Puja. And I have Biola in the studio today. Biola, what's
Great to
up?
be here. That was not me you guys were describing.
So who was it?
I'm a cool cat. I'm always cool. I'm nice.
Don't believe what he says. Don't believe what he's selling.
Well, I believe what I believe about myself.
All you need to do if you want to find out more about Biola's Arsenal antics, watch every single show or episode of the Kings of Football Show. I understand where we're coming from. If you're a huge fan of the English Premier League, the one story that's actually dominated all the headlines when it comes to the Premier League this season has been the point deduction that Everton have faced. Yes, we know that they kind of worked hand in hand with the English Premier League, knowing that they had flouted some of the laws, and now they've had that 10 points deducted. But is it fair to say that this is probably the best season to get the points deducted? If you look at the teams that have come up to the Premier League this year, look at the performances. And this is something we're talking about before the show started, where we said even before this ruling came out, Everton, they've been playing really well. I don't think it's being outlandish to say that Everton will still stay up even with these 10 points. Biola.
Well, I mean, certainly not outlandish, but 10 points is a lot, right? 10 points is, 3 wins and a draw? Mm-hmm. I mean, given how they started the season, you will imagine that, I mean, at some point, they should be able to claw it back. But I think it's still a lot. You take 10 points away from any team, they're in big trouble. What I've seen with Everton from the beginning of the season is that they are fighters, right? Even in games where they don't win, they will give you a fight. And so if the manager, and I imagine as well, the senior management of the team can communicate, because to some extent, there could be some level of psychological detachment by the players who say, look, we have 12 points. Whatever it is that you guys have done, that means that 10 points are not showing up on the table. We are doing our job. Because now they need a higher level of effort and desire. And sometimes there's only so much you can ask, of people. In all, I just think that Everton have to go to another gear and hope that the guys who are below them don't step up, because 10 points is a lot. I mean, I think they will stay in the league. I just think that they will have to fight absolutely hard.
I listened to the Bournemouth manager this weekend in his pre-match press conference, and he said he would have preferred for the points deduction to come at the end of the season.
Right.
Because, to be honest, the best time to get a points deduction is at the start of the season. So you actually know what you're up against. And like Biola said, look, 10 points is a lot. Usually they say 40 points keeps you safe.
Yeah.
Realistically, how many points did you think Everton were going to pick up this season? Take 10 out of that, do you think they'll stay up?
If they do 45, 50, they'll have done a phenomenal job, right?
Yeah.
No, but the thing is,
now they need to look for another 38 points, right?
If you felt they'd get 45 points at the start of the season, take 10 out of that.
So
and then trouble.
Actually, we can do the mental math now. Okay, it's 38 points they're looking for, right? Say 10 wins, we'll give you 30. 8 draws, we'll give you. That's a lot.
That's a lot of points.
No, but I think which is why I threw the caveat and said, if you look at the performances, let's take
really great performances.
No, I'm not talking about Everton's performances. The performances of the teams that have come in.
It's a long season also.
No, but I'm saying, but if you look at Burnley, they want to play an expansive, interesting style of
Burnley
football.
are going down.
And I'm happy to watch that, to be honest, from a purist football purist standpoint. But I don't believe that style of football is going to keep them in the Premier League. we look at Luton. Luton will most likely drop more points than they have already. So look at Sheffield. I don't think any of these three teams would actually outplay Everton to stay in the league.
It's a long season, and because apart from the actual top teams, some of the lower teams are not capable of going on the kind of runs that can keep them safe, to be honest. Everton might have started well, but it takes a few injuries and you're back to, because no one's expecting...
Doesn't take a few with Everton, just take ZCL.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin gets injured and there's a huge problem.
Yep.
10 points is a lot. Luton are going to get better as far as I'm concerned because I've watched them play.
Yep.
Sheffield United, out of the three, I think they probably have the most realistic chance of staying up. Burnley, Pep Light, I don't know what to think about.
Their striker, what was his name, Lyle, is out for an indefinite time, and I think that
So I think
that goes their only
it's
hope.
a long season. I think that's the caveat. Everton could be playing well now and
Just run out of steam.
And that could be a huge problem. So taking 10 points, like I said, do the mental math. I felt they'd probably get 45, 46 points.
If they do 50,
I
phenomenal.
take 10 out of that, that's 36. They're in trouble.
No, I think it would be nice to also hear what most of the people we have on our X space have to say. Bensky, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. So our talking point is revolving around Everton. We want to know, yes, now it's clear to everyone that they've already been docked 10 points. But do you still think that Everton would stay in the Premier League moving to next season?
Good day, guys.
Good
I
day.
think Everton, the maths, the history should tell us that when you adopt about 10 points, chances that you're going down are very, very high, obviously. But I think Everton have a very strong core. And apart from that, what they have going for them, what they lack in terms of the quality of players they have in terms of team spirit and all that. And again, don't forget that, guys, they have the opportunity to get those points back after the appeal. So those points are not gone forever yet. So they have the opportunity to get those points back. So what they can do probably now is what is in their hands. And what is in their hands is actually to move upwards. The teams that are around for me, Everton have an opportunity to still escape this problem that they have right now at this point in time. So
you think Everton have what, 10 wins in them somewhere?
Yes, Everton do not have 10 wins, but what they do have is probably 10 draws. And with 10 draws...
10 draws is not going to get them anywhere.
No, it wouldn't.
But I said that the appeal system is not yet over. Basically, you know how it usually happens. Even they can even take it up to the court of arbitration, if I'm not mistaken. At the end of the day, the public gets docked 5 points.
I think that the best way to look at it is to imagine that the 10 points off the table, 10 points off the table. If you are hoping that something comes back in the appeal, that's not under your control. You've got to control what you can control.
Yes, absolutely.
And he talks about the spine.
That's what I'm trying to
Same
say.
spine that has struggled for 3 seasons trying to stay in the Premier League.
Yep. I think that their best chance of staying in the league is that we have 3 really bad teams.
That's it.
That's what it's about.
Who, because when we say Everton can't find 10 points, you look at Luton and you know there are no 10 games anywhere. You look at Burnley, certainly no 10 games. Sheffield started really well, but I think that if you're a small side and you're playing well and results are not going your way, you have to do what Everton did. Hang in there till results turn your way. Once you hang in there and then results get even worse, I think that it's just very, very difficult to get your level of performances back. And once you get into that rut, once you start losing 3, 4, 5 games, it's extremely difficult to come back. So I think that Everton's best chance of staying in the league is, for instance, they look like a side that can win maybe 2 games and they get to 8 points. These other guys can't do it and then they can just inch their way. But other than that, it's a really, really, really tough task.
It's a really good season for because some of the traditional Premier League teams are really horrible this year. If you watched Bournemouth, they might play really nice football under Iraola, but they're not getting results. They also are benefiting from the fact that we've got 3 really horrible teams that came up.
True. I also want to bring in Henry C. I think if I'm correct, you have like a Liverpool jersey on. This is your fellow Merseyside brother that has been docked 10 points. Do you still see them staying in the Premier League?
Yeah, greetings everybody. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
For Everton, it's quite unfortunate for them. I feel for them, if I'm being honest. But the way it is not that disastrous for them, kind of considering the teams in the lower half of the table, like the likes of Luton, the likes of Sheffield and Burnley, they are not so good. They are not up to the task, if I'm being honest. So I think they still have a chance to stay up.
Yeah, no, I think every single person in the studio here is definitely in agreement with you that Everton will most likely stay up, not just because of the points they can pick up, but because of the other points that these teams around them.
Looks like a season where if you do maybe 34 points,
that will be
because you struggle to see
how
where
any of these guys are going to get
those
30
guys
points.
get those wins from.
Yeah, you're right.
Joining us in the studio here now, we have a legend of the game. We have Victor Ikpeba with us. Biola, you're a manager, and Victor, I'd like to get your opinion on this as well. Let's say you're a manager of a football club.
Yeah.
How do you deal with a Romero? Because the aggressive side to him is also what makes him who he is. But,
I'll be honest.
But you always know that he's always going to do something erratic.
I'll be honest.
You can pen 2 red cards in every single season. So if you were a manager and you followed the game for a very long time, how would you deal with that kind of?
I'll try and get him off my team. I don't like players like that. I don't like players who have a clear sense of responsibility. The first, and Victor will, share his experience, but I think that the most important feature of a player is to be reliable. Yeah. You cannot rely and depend on Cristian Romero. A second of rush of blood to the head, he can destroy an entire. I personally don't. I have no attraction to him. I do not like him because he does these things regularly. He's been a constant feature. So when players are emerging, maybe for a year or two, we saw with Rooney, he was a hothead for a while. Yeah. Eventually, you mature into the responsibility that you have. Yeah. But Romero has been a constant feature for the national team, for Tottenham. They started this season. The red card he got against Chelsea, he should have gotten a red card before that red card. And so if you, we've all played, if you get into a situation where you nearly got a red card and the referee didn't give it to you, you are sufficiently chastised. And he went into another situation, he was almost requesting for it. And it's a London derby. So I don't like players who don't have a sense of responsibility, who don't have respect for their teammates, who don't have respect for their, no matter how good you are. These basics should be, when you get a record, people should be like, oh, he got a record. Will Romero, he gets a record, and we're like, oh, what have you guys been waiting for?
Exactly.
How do you deal with that?
I'll tell him, that's what I mean.
As a teammate, if he's your teammate.
How do you deal with a player
I think
like that?
it's not good. I think he's matured. He's a World Cup winner. So he should come with a lot of experience, a little bit of calm. It's great to have your defender plays very aggressive.
Dependable.
But you cannot constantly be picking red cards and penalize your team.
Giving away penalties, not just red cards.
You need an option. And I can give names. Even Taribo West, when he came to France in the early years, was very aggressive, constantly having red cards. So he got matured, So if you have a yellow card, you have to be more careful. He's a key player for this Spurs side, especially defensively. So I think it's not good for his teammates because he's making his team to drop points. True. So he gets to a level the manager cannot no longer have that patience and believe. Because having constantly red cards, yellow cards is not great for the team. And you are one of the best defenders.
Yeah, the team relies on you.
So it should be more matured and be calm sometimes. It's not calm enough.
Anyway, with that, we're actually coming to the end of the show today. Remember that this show, the Budweiser Kings of Football show, is going to be on YouTube. And you can also stand a chance to win 50,000 naira for just one lucky winner if you go on YouTube. And also remember to like and also subscribe and also leave your comments. If there are any new insights you want us to know or things that you feel like that will be a great addition to the show, please leave that in the comment section on YouTube as well. Also remember that the Predictor platform is on. You need to go to www.budweiserfootballpredictor.com to make your predictions. And you stand a chance to win 5,000 naira for the top 5 weekly. And also at the end of the season, you stand a chance to win 250, 500,000 or 1 million naira to the top 3 from the Predictor platform. So this time where I'm going to say goodbye from me. But first of all, any last words, Victor?
Sorry, I was a little bit late. Apologies to our viewers. We all know what is happening in Lagos. I'm in the other part of Lagos. So it's always great to be here. And I think whenever I'm here, I do enjoy myself. And it's another opportunity to talk about football and
give your guesses.
Yes, I'm so proud that I did myself proud.
Tolu, your first time on the show. Thank you. It's been a pleasure having you as well.
Same here. I knew I was going to have fun anyway.
With the big bros. Yeah.
And of course, Biola is good. Please, next time, moving forward, just watch Arsenal with an open mind.
Yeah, show love. Show love.
No, I won't get another Arsenal question.
You get another question. All right, guys. Thank you for being with us on X, and also keep it locked with us on YouTube. And we're going to be back next week.